Plasma Trucks by Zach Bond. The world generates about 2.01 billion tons of waste annually. You may be wondering, is there a solution to get rid of all this waste? What I can tell you is that there is a solution. That solution is plasma trucks. Using the technology known as plasma gasification, the plasma truck incinerates waste in an environmentally friendly way. The plasma truck reduces waste back to its basic elemental form. The plasma truck doesn't pollute while at work either. It goes around, collects people's waste, uses plasma gasification to get rid of it, and does this while running on an environmentally friendly fuel. It is the perfect solution for our world's waste problem, methane pollution, and landfill problems. It is the key to eliminating waste as a contributor to global warming. The environmental issue I'm focusing on is landfill waste. Landfills are places where trash and waste is dumped. There are many problems with landfills, the main one being the greenhouse gases being released into the air. The main gas being released from these landfills is called methane. Methane is the gas produced naturally by most livestock and other domestic animals. Studies found that between 55 and 60% of methane produced wasn't produced naturally and was the cause of human non-natural productions. This means about 320 to 360 million tons of methane has been produced unnaturally by humans. This is compared to the naturally produced 40 to 45% of methane, which is only about 230 to 250 million tons. Our human influence production of methane needs to be reduced, as is the second main contributing gas to global warming. Methane emissions account for 16% of all global emissions. A successful solution is needed to this problem, as these landfills and dumps are releasing about 6 to 18% of all our methane emissions, which is about 30 to 70 million tons. The effects of these emissions we are producing are greatly contributing to global warming and climate change. We are beginning to see the consequences of this through weather changes in different areas. There's been an increase in the amount of floods and droughts. Just from things like landfills, we are seeing a drastic change in precipitation in the water cycle. Plasma gasification is a fairly new technology that is used to get rid of large amounts of waste. Plasma gasification starts by creating an electrical arc between two electrodes to power a plasma torch, which is then used to heat a container of waste up. The temperatures reach about 13,900 degrees Celsius. This process reduces the waste back to their literal basic elemental forms, meaning hydrogen and carbon monoxide. This result is known as syngas. Limitations I found with this currently existing technology is that the trash needing to be disposed of with plasma gasification needs to be transported to a plasma gasification plant to be disposed of. It has to be transported by the means of big trucks, which doesn't just make things inconvenient for disposal, it also creates pollution from the trucks transporting these big loads of waste. Another limitation that is that it doesn't fully turn all the waste into syngas. There's often a byproduct left over known as slag. Slag cannot be further reduced by plasma gasification and would need to be disposed of alternatively. It all started once the first sanitary landfill was opened in Fresno, California in 1937. During this time period, more factories and big corporations were producing products and therefore were producing more waste. This is when landfills started popping up left and right. The mass production of different products created tons of waste, and the consumption of these products eventually led to even more waste. The landfills couldn't keep up, so what would the solution be? Well, apparently the conclusion they came to was to establish more landfills. By the end of the Second World War, over 100 cities in the United States had at least one landfill. Unfortunately, landfills were usually poorly managed. The irresponsibility of these landfills started to lead to methane and other greenhouse gases escaping into the air. Both Canada and the United States are now home to about 3,000 active landfills each. The world's starting to run out of space for all this waste. The consumption rate in the world has increased massively in the past 50 to 80 years. These problems with landfills are creating are being fueled by the massive production of MSW, or municipal solid waste. The United States produces about 292.4 million tons of MSW. Canada produces the most MSW in the world at 1.325 billion tons of MSW. For almost 100 years, nobody has come up with a solution. The situation hasn't gotten better. It's gotten much worse. All we can do is create a better future. We can't change the past. The massive problems with landfills, waste, and methane pollution all need a solution. My idea that I have come up with is the solution. My idea utilizes the existing technology of plasma gasification and the existing machinery of a garbage truck. My idea is called plasma trucks. I believe it could be the solution to our pollution problem, waste production problem, and all the other problems related to waste disposal. The truck has a plasma gasification contraption inside of it that is made up of big electrode conductors as well as the necessary tools for the harvesting of syngas. The way the plasma truck works is just like a garbage truck. it goes around on a route and collects people's garbage. Then, inside the truck, the plasma gasification process takes place. An electrical arc is created between two electroconductors inside the truck. This arc is used to power the plasma torch, which then heats up the garbage bin of waste. It is heated up to the point of incineration. Once it is incinerated, it is reduced back to its basic elemental properties in the form of a synthetic gas. This syngas can be used as a sustainable energy source. It is made up of hydrogen and carbon monoxide. This syngas can be further refined into a liquid state, which can be used to potentially power vehicles. In this case, inside the truck, the syngas is harvested and brought back to a facility where it is refined into this mentioned liquid fuel. This fuel is used to power the plasma truck. This means that not only it is getting rid of waste in an environmentally friendly way, but is running on a sustainable fuel that doesn't release harmful gases into the air. The remaining byproduct, slag, is collected inside the truck during plasma gasification, just as a normal garbage truck would collect garbage. Later, the slag would be transported away and used for other purposes. These plasma trucks are, in my mind, potentially the next huge breakthrough in environmentally friendly disposal of waste. They solve the problem of methane being released into the air because the waste in people's bins is being reduced to its basic elemental form. Therefore, it doesn't allow for the production of methane. Next, it solves the problem of waste production. MSW cannot be produced if it is dealt with by plasma trucks. After the waste is incinerated by plasma gasification, poof, it's gone, not leaving any waste behind. It also will solve the problem with landfills. If landfills are not receiving any waste, they can focus on dealing with existing waste, as no more new waste could be coming their way. While solving these three problems, and maybe even more, the plasma trucks will be running without polluting the air, as the syngas fuel would be powering everything going on in the plasma truck. I believe that if these plasma trucks are mass produced, the world will see a massive drop in MSW production, methane pollution, and the overall global warming rate of the Earth. The sky is truly the limits to plasma trucks. To make plasma trucks a reality, several new breakthroughs need to be made. First off, there would have to be a breakthrough in terms of how to get a working plasma gasification contraption inside of a truck. As of right now, although plasma gasification takes place in special facilities or plants, there would have to be a discovery of how you can move these contraptions used into a truck or even just another environment, and still have plasma gasification process working efficiently, effectively, and safely. Another thing that would need to happen is that new garbage bins specialized for the plasma trucks would need to be created. Inside the plasma gasification process, the heat inside the container of waste gets to 13,900 degrees Celsius, which your average plastic garbage bin wouldn't be able to handle. New bins specialized for plasma gasification would need to be produced. The last big breakthrough I think would need to happen is to mass produce the syngas liquid fuel to power the trucks. It's never been mass produced, so a breakthrough would need to happen in regards to that area of plasma trucks. All of these are reasons why I believe plasma trucks don't exist today. I believe if we can make these necessary breakthroughs, plasma trucks could easily become effective in society. The plasma truck makes many positive impacts on the environment. The reduction of produced waste, methane pollution, and will almost eliminate landfills from the equation. This can lead to us being able to focus on other environmental issues, and we can put more effort into efficiently recycling rather than worrying about our solid waste. Stopping methane pollution is essential to slow down global warming as it accounts for almost 20% of all global emissions we produce. These are all the possible positive effects the plasma truck could have on the environment. As for the negatives, I've found a couple things with the plasma trucks that could negatively affect the environment. The main thing is the process of turning syngas into a liquid fuel. The process of doing this may not be the most energy as efficient as it could be. Another thing is the production of parts for the truck. Tire production and other things like that aren't the most environmentally friendly processes. Both of these could have an impact on the environment. And here's what I believe the plasma truck would look like. And yeah, thanks for watching.